right, guys, welcome to the Bollywood Talk Show on IWMBuzz. This is your host, Shubhajit, and today I have with me two very interesting smiling faces out here promoting their new project. I have Aditi and Neeraj sir over here. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a pleasure all the time.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. You know, I was talking to the other director today, Raj sir, that whenever you're coming up with these kind of projects where there are multiple stories coming in together at the same time, it's not just about having conviction in your own story and your own work, but also the work of others, because it's a collective effort that comes into play. So I want to ask you, Raj sir, as a director, when you're coming up with this kind of a anthropology as we call it, what do you have to say in terms of the conviction on others? Because you know what you have done, but you don't really know what others have done. So how do you gain the conviction and the faith कि हाँ चलो अच्छा काम होगा एक साथ मिलके?
I think you just trust the makers, like I trusted Dharma.
Yeah.
And of course I knew the directors and know their takes. So obviously, regardless of that, I would have made the film the way I've made it. And I'm just happy
Yes.
to have made the films with all of the lovely directors that I mean, they're amazing friends also. So I guess
Yes.
it's all good.
Perfect. Aditi, I've heard this thing on many occasions. I've read as well on a couple of times as well that you believe whenever you're coming into a new project, pehle you feel like you're all over the place, and then once the camera starts rolling, you feel like this is your zone, this is your home. But after having worked for so many years, what is this mushy feeling all about inside? I mean, does it come from a sense of nervousness? Or does it feel like you are already, always coming on your first set and on the very first movie? What does it happen?
I don't know, but it's very scary, because it's like meeting. I mean, how do I say it? It's like you've read the script, you've
Yeah.
spoken about it, and with Neeraj, there were so many discussions. We did so much prep work in terms of understanding the context of these characters, the situations, where they come from, who they are, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And but still, that person is still new to you. I mean, everything about that person is new to you. The clothes they wear. I mean, that is the most
Yeah.
normal thing, right? You get up in the morning and you see your cupboard, their
Yeah.
home, their
Yeah.
everything. I mean,
Yeah.
their mannerisms, and you have to make it real and believable. Like
Yes.
you need to believe I'm Priya. You can't keep
Yes.
seeing Aditi over there.
Yeah.
And of course, it's my version of Priya. Somebody else will play it differently.
Yeah.
I'll play it differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I want my director and my co-star to also
Yeah.
get that from me. Like, I want to see that smile on my director's face and be like, this is my Priya. Or I want my co-star to get the right energy from me so that they can do their best as well. So it is it's a mind fry, like a complete brain fry, at least for me. And
Yeah.
also because
Yeah.
I guess I don't really know method, or I don't. I'm
Yeah.
never sure what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
that is just how I am. And then once I come on the set and that first take
Yeah.
is done, and
Yeah.
if the director is smiling, I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Priya,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna manage this fine. So like it's like that for me. But that one
Yeah.
shot I need. It's literally like before that one shot, I'm like, when he says action, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. But it
So
worked
that's
out.
like a personal Muhurat shot for you. And अगर वो अच्छे से हो गया, then तो एकदम चलो गाड़ी is pretty much on the track
Then
then.
I feel really comfortable. Then I'm jumping around, laughing, chilling. Till
Yeah.
then, I'm like, for 2 days, I'm quite
Yeah.
like a cranky, like a hangry child. Yeah.
Hungry and angry at the same time. But
Yes.
Neeraj sir, Aditi is basically talking a lot of stuff regarding her own mindset when she's coming into a new set and everything. And she says very clearly कि अगर मेरे director जो है वो अगर smile नहीं करते तो मुझे confidence नहीं मिलता. So how many times were you actually smiling when you saw her performances in front
I,
of the big monitor?
I too
I
was,
didn't say मुझे confidence नहीं मिलता. I just feel okay. Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
was like brimming with energy because एक तो to
Yeah.
have such wonderful actors
True.
bring your characters to fruition, that was itself a great high for me.
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
having said that, I think I somehow, I don't know if Aditi can relate with what happens to me as in terms of my process, is that I am too judgmental about my work. I'm too
Okay.
critical about my work. So I'm constantly judging.
Yeah.
So I do have those palpitations the way that Aditi is talking about. I don't know if it comes from the same place, because we are constantly thinking that have I done the right thing? Have I done this? Have I done this? So I have always these things. So it's not particularly a reflection of the actors per se, but it's just a reflection of me. So
Yeah,
I'm not very like jumping, guessing, wow, what a take. I don't do that. And it's a problem for the crew
yeah,
members and the actors that,
yeah,
really
yeah,
like it. Did he what I mean, what is it? But thankfully, like I think we had such a good rapport between me, Konkana, and
yeah,
Aditi.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
understood each other so well that she understood that, okay, we because we three were arriving at it together. It wasn't like
yes,
I am saying you do it. It wasn't never like that. I think we all three
yeah,
of us arrived at the film together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Aditi, I want to ask you this thing very clearly that you mentioned कि the very first day of the set, वो जो पहला shot होता है, उसके बाद you are very much comfortable in your own zone and you feel like कि हाँ, everything is sorted and going as per your plans. But before that first shot, there's obviously nerves out there. So when you're getting those nerves, how do you actually tackle that? Because you can't probably let the world know कि हाँ, you are nervous despite having so much of
No,
experience. So
no,
how
no.
do you handle
I'm not this person. Everything shows on my face. If I'm having nerves, everybody knows I'm having nerves. And when I'm fine with it, I don't hide anything. It's
it? Yeah,
too much effort. Why should I hide anything? It's very natural. I'm a human
yeah,
being.
yeah,
Some days
yeah.
I'll have good days, some days I'll have bad days. Mostly I'm very
Absolutely.
happy. And
Yeah,
if
touch
I
wood.
have nerves, I deal with those nerves. Yeah, I let myself feel everything that I'm feeling. And
Yeah,
I love being on set. I love being in front of the camera. For me, it's like Wonderland. It's such a I feel actually
yeah,
it's such a safe space, and in fact I feel it's such a non-judgmental, beautiful place. Real
yeah,
life is more complicated. Everybody's constantly judging everybody for what reason I don't know. But in front
yeah,
of the camera, it's so nice. Like it's really a
yeah,
magical world. I love it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
just that one this thing to get there and then feel comfortable. I don't know what that is. That's just me, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's fine. That's how I
yeah.
am. I don't fight it. It's okay.
Well, as long as it works for you, nothing else matters. And if it's giving you results, nothing else should matter as well. But Neeraj sir, I want to ask you this thing that obviously there are multiple directors, there are multiple stories coming together to create a new combination. And we have seen this probably in Indian scenario since the last few years. Do you think this is the future going forward in terms of having multiple stories and the anthropology form of narrative?
No, I think, see, anthologies have been dealt with a long time. I mean, it's been many
Yeah,
countries have done it, and even we have
yeah,
had many anthologies before. It's nothing
yeah,
new. I don't think I don't think it's a thing that is going to replace anything else.
yeah,
It's a thing in itself, because directors feel a lot of freedom directing short
yeah,
films, because it gives you
yeah,
the freedom to do what you want to do, to say what you want to do, and there's no commercial pressure. And with
yeah,
this, just four like-minded directors come together, that's like the best thing to
yeah,
happen. So I think it's a
yeah.
win-win solution for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aditi, this question is for you that when you are coming up with a project, and obviously you have made selections in the past as well, obviously, just like any other human being, some will work in your favor, some will not. I want to ask you this question to actually both of you because you both have really worked your way up in the industry. When things don't go as per plans and when you're dealing with failures, how do you actually personally handle that situation and come out victorious in the long run? I want you to, Aditi, answer that first.
When I was very little, like I've been learning dance since I was 5 years old. My mother
Yeah,
also sings, and I've been around a lot of artists. And my mother
yeah,
always told me one thing when I was little is that as an artist, what is really beautiful is to keep that sort of childlike love alive in your heart at all times, and to just keep creating, because as a child you're very
yeah,
curious. You're constantly
yeah,
creating things because you're constantly learning
yeah,
things. You are
yeah,
not afraid, you don't have ego, you just like
yeah,
you are all heart.
yeah,
And you will always keep coming up with new things and new ideas,
yeah,
and that is your journey. Sometimes those ideas will be beautiful and they'll work, and sometimes they won't, and that is
yeah,
only natural. But the fact that your your core is constantly creating, is
yeah.
fearless, is that's the way it is. Yeah, I mean, it's isn't it? Yeah. So that's I guess I always think of that if there's anything
Yeah.
that I need to deal with.
That's wonderful. And how? What about you, Neeraj sir? How do you handle failures and come out victorious in the long
Actually, I think it comes naturally to me because I am, like I said earlier, that I'm too judgmental about my own work. So
run? Yeah.
I actually, in fact, I take criticism more dearly than praise. In
Okay, that's a lovely thing.
after Masan, like many, I actually used to run away from places where they would praise the film. It's bad. I know. I'm correcting it. I would look away, or I didn't know how to take the praise. I was like always, if somebody would have, I mean, I was to find one of them like would say, Acha, I like the film, but you know what? They're like, oh yeah, yeah, tell me, I'm all yours. I'd go like that. I'm naturally a person
Yeah.
who thrives on criticism. Like even with the
Yeah.
people I work with, I've always had friends and people and
Yeah.
crew members and HODs who are not
Yeah.
afraid to tell me that dude, this doesn't augur well.
Yeah.
This doesn't sit
Yeah.
well with me. This doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I have to have those kind of people. I cannot
Yeah.
have yes men. I cannot have people who are going like, oh, everything is so nice. Everything is not. No, you tell me what you feel. So I mean, I to love having to fail. Otherwise, as artists, we'll never grow. Yeah, only become vain.
Absolutely. Absolutely on point. So when you're coming up with so many lovely actors, talent, जिनके खून में, there's talent right there. How does it add value? Do you feel the pressure all the way more? यार इतने अच्छे actors हैं who are doing their job so well. I need to probably buck myself up a lot more. Do you have that pressure when you're working with such talented artists?
Not at all. I don't look at these situations like that.
Yeah.
In fact, it's ulta. Is there a talented actor with me in the same frame? That means I will watch them. I'll learn from them. I will
Yeah.
possibly be better because it's the
Yeah.
energy that the person gives you. And if you're talking about
True.
an anthology as well, there are other films with
Yeah.
amazing actors and
Yeah.
amazing directors and amazing
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
whole, it has to work. It's like in a film, I've never
Yeah.
understood why, two actors are pitted against each other, or, there's this underlying sense of competitiveness or whatever, because I feel like if that person doesn't work, how will I work? It's about a
True.
collective energy, and that's the beauty
Yes.
of film, is that each
Yeah.
and every person on that film has to work with equal amounts of passion and love towards making that story. And
True.
that's all that matters. I mean, it's not about you versus me versus you. We all have to shine for that film to shine. So
Absolutely.
I take it as a huge compliment. If they're all these amazing actors, and if I'm being put in the middle of them, thank you so much. Some guardian angel is looking after me, and great. Please push me. Please make me live up to whatever it is that you had envisioned. And I want to be pushed. I want to be challenged, and I enjoy that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I take it very, very positively. And this is
Yeah.
the real and absolute truth. I'm not just saying it to be correct.
And it
No,
would be
no, but the
true, man, because
Huh?
I think the reverse is also true, where some of the actors would also feel that, oh my God, we have to work with Aditi and we have to match it.
yes, absolutely.
I think that pressure is also going to be there.
I've heard people say this to me, and I'm just like, when they say something else to me, I'm like, me?
Uh,
That's just the humble attitude and modesty that's coming out because you're
I
so
don't know.
grounded as a personality.
No, I think I sometimes forget certain things.
No, no, but it's the positive approach that you have. Definitely, that has worked all the way for you in all these years. Last question, sir, and Aditi, before I want to wrap this up, is the fact that obviously there are so many interesting projects, there are so many interesting stories that has been told. It's an important message that's coming out there. One last message to all the fans and our viewers who are watching this episode, and why they should go ahead and watch it right away when it starts streaming. Neeraj, sir, you can start.
See, we all made this film with a lot of honesty, a lot of fun, a lot of integrity, and we put out our 100% heartfelt best out there. It's up to you. I mean, how you like it, you don't like it, it's all up to you. I mean, everything is
Yeah,
welcome, everything is fair and square. But just to be appreciative of our efforts and our integrity and our sensitivity towards it.
yeah. Aditi, you want to add something to that?
I, I think Neeraj just said it, and I think he's absolutely right. I think what the only thing that we have is our intention and our, like you said, honesty, integrity, and the love that we bring, and work
Yes,
together to make a film. And after that, it's yours and how you
yes.
receive it from us.
Well, that's a lot of positivity coming from both of you. I wish you guys all the best for this one and also everything that you do in the future. Take care, stay safe, God bless, and thank you so much for interacting with us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.